So what really are the best Pokemon sets from the year 2025? Let's discuss in today's video as I make my own Pokemon tier list for the year 2025. With that being said, let's find out what it is.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Welcome back to the channel, guys. I made a tier list for the Pokemon sets from 2025. You guys can make your own tier list as well on the tiermaker.com website. If you guys wanted to go check that out, I'll leave it actually down below in the description as well. So here is the tier list that I've made right here with all of the Pokemon sets from the year 2025. I'm trying to make this a yearly video at the very least. Even if I don't make a lot of content, I'm definitely going to at least make these every single year. So if you want to come back next year or come back next video, regardless, I'll appreciate it. Let's dive straight into it though today. Not a lot of sets, obviously, this year. I mean, compared to other TCGs, it's actually a relatively low amount of products available from the year 2025, but we started the year off very hot here with Prismatic Evolutions. So Prismatic Evolutions, where would I put this? Now, I will be honest, I think that Prismatic Evolutions is a little bit of a overrated set just based on the fact that you don't get any art rares in there. Of course, you have some great SARs, but I mean, some people also don't like the Crown SARs, so it's not everyone's cup of tea. But again, it's still Evolutions. It's still a set that I think in the future, if you are a speculator investor, if you probably hold on to these singles, or if you hold on to the sealed product, it's likely going to be one of the biggest winners from this block and from this era, from this year specifically. So with that being said, everything that I have to think about, I also have to not just make it completely personal. I have to see it through the lens and through the eyes of someone else, another collector or investor, or just someone who's a fan of Pokemon. And honestly, I'm going to have to say Prismatic Evolutions for me, I'm going to go A tier, okay? Honestly, if it was just based on what I think and not, being influenced by outside influence, voices and stuff like that, I probably put it as B tier, but I'm going to say A tier for Prismatic Evolutions just because people love Evolutions, and I think you can't understate that as well, right? So the next set of the year 2025 was Journey Together, early spring here. Now, Journey Together was a very interesting set. It had great artworks as well, like Erica's Clefairy. It was the first time we got some trainers in the Scarlet and Violet era with the Pokemon as well, so that was really exciting. It really brought a new flavor to the Scarlet and Violet era towards the end of the era. But I will say, I'm not the biggest fan. There's some great cards in there, but I'm not the biggest fan, and it might be my least favorite out of the last sets from the Scarlet and Violet era. So with that being said, why don't we put it in C tier? Now, again, I want your thoughts about my tier list down below in the comment section if you think I'm right or wrong or whatever. Maybe you see things completely differently than me, and that's completely fine. Next up is Destined Rivals here. Destined Rivals, obviously a set that people went crazy over. I don't think it had the same exact hype as Prismatic Evolutions, but I think that because it's a Team Rocket set, historically, from like an investor collector standpoint, Team Rocket sets tend to do very well on the secondary market. You're going to have some very popular Pokemon in there as well, like, obviously Moltres and Mewtwo. It did have some great artwork, but I will say I was a little bit disappointed in the Mewtwo. Now, maybe some people will share a different opinion. Maybe you share the same opinion, and you think that the set was, a little too overhyped based on the artwork for the set. But I still think, even with that being said, there's still so many great, like Team Rocket's Moltres is just an incredible piece of art, and you can actually get it as a promo as well in the Team Rocket's UPC as well. So I don't know, with all these things, honestly, I have to go S tier. I think it is better than Prismatic Evolutions, honestly, and this is obviously taking into account outside kind of feelings as well as my own feelings. And I think that Destined Rivals is probably maybe my favorite set in the last year, but you let your thoughts know. But you let me know your favorite down below in the comment section. Obviously, you can make your tier list along. I'd love to hear your tier list as well down below in the comment section. Next up, Black Bolt and White Flare. Now, this has to be, to me, the most underrated and underappreciated set from the year 2025, and I honestly think that it is just pure gold. I mean, art rares for every Pokemon in the set. It feels like every 3 or 4 packs you open up, you get an art rare, which is really good compared to any of the other sets in the past year. So I think based on that, and also the fact that I personally love the black and white and Black and White 2 DS games as well for Nintendo. And just the nostalgia speaking to me right now, it was when I just got back into Pokemon as well with the card game. So I'm going to go S tier. I'm going S tier. I think it's probably one of the biggest sets that people are sleeping on out of all the sets this year. 100%. S tier for me. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of disagreements in the comment section saying, oh, those Pokemon, no one cares about these Pokemon. I don't give a crap about these Pokemon. But I'm telling you, the artwork on the Reshiram and Zekrom are not only incredible, I think they'll be very sought after in the future. I think all of the cards, the art rares in the set will be sought after in the future. Next up here is Mega Evolutions. The start of the new era here with Mega Evolution cards. I have to say, I'm not the biggest fan of Mega Evolutions, but I still think it had some great artwork, but I do think they could have done a little better with this set. Overall, though, I can't complain. I think it's a decent set. I'm going to go B tier. Now, Phantasmal Flames. To all the Charizard lovers out there, Charizard is a very popular Pokemon, and I think the artwork for the Mega Charizard SAR is really incredible. There's other great artworks as well in this set, but is it as hyped as it should have been? Like, is it as good as everyone was expecting it to be? I think it would have been a little bit better if they actually did have a Gengar in it, and originally that might have been the plan, but unfortunately they moved over Gengar to another set with Dragonite, and I think that set, if that set was released this year, I'd probably put it ahead of Mega Evolutions and Phantasmal Flames, but c'est la vie, life goes on. We're ranking this set right now. Now, I know Charizard is very popular, but can Charizard hold a set on its own? I don't know. Obsidian Flames, I thought, was a little bit of a bust for a Charizard set. Almost a little too much Charizard in that set, but I think Phantasmal Flames, it's still better than Journey Together. It's maybe still better than Mega Evolution. Is it as good as Prismatic Evolutions? I don't know. I'm going to go B tier. Okay? I know I'm going to get a lot of disrespect in the comments, and that's completely fine. That's what the YouTube comment section is for, so I want you to let me know your tier list. What would you put as the absolute top best set of the year? What would you say is the worst set of the year? For me, Destined Rivals and Black Bolt, White Flare are probably, for me, my favorite in the S tier, and then the worst would be, it's not even that bad. I didn't even disrespect it that bad by putting it all the way at the bottom. It's one from the bottom, and that is Journey Together. You leave your thoughts down below about this video in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.